Alright, lads. Billy Joe Saunders, as expected, 12-round UD win over Martin Murray. I don't think there was many people who saw this fight going any other way than the Billy Joe Saunders UD. I know that's what I sure as hell picked in my prediction league this week. Scorecards are 120-109 twice and a 118-110 scorecard. Truth be told, I couldn't find a round to give to Martin Murray in there. Billy Joe, right. Billy Joe looked a lot better than he did this time last year. Alright, when he fought, I can't remember the guy's name, Marcelo Esteban Caracas, I think is how you pronounce it. When he fought him over in LA, and he had to pull that fight out late with a stoppage. He looked a lot better against Martin Murray. Although saying that, Martin Murray he looked every bit his age. I mean, Martin Murray, lest we forget, people were commenting a few videos done about this fight saying they thought Martin Murray retired. What was it, 2 years ago? Well, in actual fact, he did. You know, when he lost to Hassan Nadam, and he looked absolutely shocking in that fight when he lost to Hassan Nadam. That was about 2 years ago. Right, he retired after that fight. For whatever reason, he decided to come back. He had two kind of, warm-up fights, and then he went into this fight. He looked every bit his age. He's about 38 years old. He's had a long career. And for me, it was weird, right? He just really, it seemed like there was nothing there. I'm sure he went in there fully intending to try and win this fight, but it just looked like there wasn't anything left in Martin Murray. He just seemed to kind of just start moving with his hands in the air. He was throwing single shots whenever he could go, get a chance to throw. His feet looked quite slow. He looked old in there. Billy Joe was letting combinations go. He hurt Martin Murray in the fourth round. It was a left hand that landed right kind of on the temple of the head, plus I think it was another right hand that went straight on the chin. Martin Murray kind of fumbled to the ground. Referee called it a slip. Looking back on the replays, I'd call it a slip as well. Other than that, that was the only real moment where Martin Murray was in any kind of trouble in there with regards being hurt. He took a good couple of uppercuts on Billy Joe. Billy Joe was throwing a nice uppercut. He was throwing his right jab, come back with a left uppercut. He was throwing hooks to the body and then coming back up with uppercut. The uppercut was working well for Billy Joe. The combination puncher was on point. His movement was okay in this fight. I think it's super middleweight. From my eyes, it seems Billy Joe's feet aren't as quick at this weight, because looks he's carrying a little bit too much weight. Now, it's not to say he's slow-footed. He's quick enough. But his feet don't look near as quick as they did when he was at 160. Just from my point of view, from the way I see it, that's the way I'm looking at it. So that was one thing I noticed with Billy Joe in there. Other than that, he really didn't do much wrong. There was no jitters or anything like that. He wasn't getting hit with unnecessary shots. Martin Murray really wasn't throwing many shots to be able to have any success. Billy Joe, it was a real clockwork performance. I think in the 10th round, Mark Tibbs was saying in the corner to Billy Joe, take it easy, take this round off, we're cruising. And they were, truth be told. It was a better Billy Joe than we saw last year, but you had to expect this kind of performance against Martin Murray. I know Sky were asking the question, if we'd seen this fight 2 years ago when it was originally set to take place, what would we have seen? We would have seen a fairly similar performance. In fact, we probably would have seen an identical performance, truth be told. The only difference is we would have had fans. That's the only difference. So, in my opinion, same performance if it had been 2 years ago as opposed to now. Maybe Martin Murray would have been a bit more game 2 years ago, but I wouldn't imagine much if he went on to lose to Hassan Dam, in 2018 as well. So onwards and upwards for Billy Joe. He gets to move on. Just look at the shape Billy Joe was in. I think he should be a middleweight. I just don't. No, I'm not sold on Billy Joe at super middle. All things considered, he fought that Sufi guy for a vacant title. The last guy he fought last year in LA was a middleweight. He campaigned at middleweight. That was his first fight, I think, at super middleweight. And Martin Murray, realistically, his best days have always been at middleweight. So that's the way I had it looking at this fight. It was two middleweights going in there. Billy Joe next year, we'll have to see how he goes. We'll have to see what he does next. I think they want the Canelo fight. Do I think it will happen? Possibly, if he beats Callum Smith. Callum Smith, stylistically for Canelo, it's a more fitting style for Canelo than Billy Joe. Let's say I think Billy Joe will beat Canelo, no, but I think that Callum Smith plays into Canelo's strengths a lot more. So Billy Joe against Canelo, an on point Billy Joe who was fully switched on, who was even more switched on than this. I think that could be an interesting fight. We hear names of Demetrius Andre mentioned. Look, I rate Demetrius Andre. I think it'd be a good. Well, I was going to say I think it'd be a good fight. That's what I was going to say. It'd probably be a very, very dull fight, very boring fight. Both guys are very defensively minded. Both guys can. Well, Demetrius Andre can switch. It'd be a chess match. I know it'd be a good fight. So but I kind of would like to see it in one sense because just the pure boxing fan in me wants to see it as well. But we'll have to, who knows what will happen. I think that's the fight they're looking at. They can't get Canelo, but who knows. So I'm going to leave it here. That's my thoughts on this. Billy Joe, he did what he needed to do. As I said, he wasn't in there against much. Martin Murray, seen better days. Whatever he decides to do now, it's up to him. I wish him the best. Billy Joe, moving forward, we'll have to wait and see. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Smash the like button if you haven't already. Hashtag GMansRocks, King of Rip Jeans, all that good stuff. People, I'll talk to you. Peace.